Hello and welcome back to the Crumple Zone, the show that gives you all the latest updates and news in the world of the crashtastic sport of banger racing. Today we're talking about 3 upcoming events and also some news about Warton Stock Car Club. Before we get underway with this week's news, I have to correct something that I said last weekend. Last weekend I talked about an Australian demolition derby that was being taken place at Albion Park. Now, it was true that there is an Albion Park demolition derby that took place on January the 19th. However, the bit that was unfortunately not true, the drivers from the UK did not go to that specific destruction derby. They went to a different one, so my apologies for getting that wrong. But hey, free plug, yay! The actual location of the demolition derby was the High Tech Oils Toowoomba Speedway. So with that out of the way, let's get ready to crumple. First up, let's talk about some meetings that we're already familiar with because these are the rescheduled events. First up, Tully Roan Oval. Yes, I think I've talked about this meeting more times than any other meeting on the planet this year. But they are doing the Van Bangers on the 25th of January. Yes, this is the meeting that was scheduled originally to take place on the first week of the year. However, due to the snow, they had to reschedule to later in the month. Fortunately, it does seem that the list is still promising though, with 17 Van Bangers booked in and 45 1600 rookie bangers still, which does mean that this is still potentially going to be the biggest turnout for the 1600 bangers in Northern Ireland still. If it can break the record, that would be amazing. And just like before, the Lightning Rods, Superstocks and Junior Productions are alongside these 2 banger formulas in the programme. Wish everyone the best of luck with this meeting for the season opener in Northern Ireland. Now moving on to the Civil War 26 at Hennesford Hills. This meeting was originally going to take place at the end of week 2, but once again, due to the weather, they had to move this meeting to week 4. Once again, this meeting is featuring the 2 litre bangers and the 1600 bangers in a team battle against the North and the South. One detail that I forgot to mention last time is the Army Generals. For the Northern Army, we have Terry Garrett, and for the Southern Army, the General is Steve Anscombe, better known as Cecil. Want to wish every driver the best of luck for this one, and hopefully this will be a good battle between the North and the South again at Hennesford Hills. Now let's talk about the main attraction of the weekend, which of course is the Van Banger Winter Warmer meeting, which is taking place at Cowdenbeath Racewall in Scotland. Now, originally, this meeting was going to be taking place on Sunday the 25th of January, but due to the Civil War having a date change, due to the weather, the Van Bangers have been pushed back one day to the 24th of January. This is so the Civil War can get the most amount of drivers it can for that meeting. Now this meeting's looking very promising as well, with 25 Van Bangers booked in for this one. Plus we've got the Junior Bangers on display for this one, and we've got some Pro Stock Basics. Hopefully this season opener in Scotland will live up to the hype, and I'm sure those drivers will put on a fantastic show. The last bit of news this week is to do with the Warton Stock Car Club, more specifically their Midwinter Open. Now originally it was supposed to be taking place this coming weekend, but unfortunately, once again, due to the Civil War clashing, they've had to move their date as well. So now the Midwinter Open is taking place on February the 8th. I must preface that the whole situation with Civil War was very unfortunate. They were forced to move due to the weather, and it has caused a bit of problems this month. But thankfully, these meetings are still taking place, just not in the original dates. So look on the bright side. Yes, it sucks that the dates had to be moved, but the fact they're even taking place is a bonus anyway. And that concludes all the news for this week. This is our last episode of January, so I hope you've enjoyed this month of news. And I can't wait to talk more next week when we talk about the pre-1996 Icebreaker. Once again, I want to give a massive thank you to TR Race Videos and irishbanger Pictures for allowing me to use your footage, and the official Cowdenbeath Racewall YouTube channel for allowing me to use their footage to promote this upcoming Van Banger meeting. Also, massive thank you to ORI Media for allowing me to use footage of Wharton Racing so I can give you the latest update on that. The links to their channels will be in the description below. Give them some love and support, give them a subscription, and hey, tell them Demo sent you. So once again, thank you all for the support. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'll see you next week for more news. Demolition Icon, over and out.